Hey guys, Trainer Toll here. Today we're going to talk about some of the biggest pain in the ass myths about Pokemon Go. There are some rumors and tactics and whatnot that I think just really need to die. And things I've got little baby kitty that we rescued at the park here running around behind me. Um, the uh, the first one on the list, I've seen people swear up and down that this is true, but it was never true. They said that the radar would ping green, and the little ding down there would flash, meaning that you were getting closer to the Pokemon you had selected. That is never the case. That was never true. People who swore by it, they'd say, "Look, I walked right to the Pokemon, but it pinged regardless. It was just meaning that it's something in the list updated, so it had nothing to do with what Pokemon was in the radar. Granted, now we have sightings, and we're going to have the new Pokestop version thing here shortly, but never worked that way. The radar would ping when the radar or the little block content's updated, so that was not a thing. EV moves impacting evolution. I had this actually pop up just a couple days ago and saying, wait, which moveset do I need to do this? People still believe that this is a thing. It is not a thing. It was never a thing. I will admit that I was completely skeptical to the point of being a total asshole to a guy because he was like, if you nickname an Eevee, it'll evolve. And I'm like, that's the dumbest thing. I actually said this. I said this was the dumbest thing I'd ever heard of because the idea of nicknaming something and having it change what it evolved to me, I thought it was crazy. But that turned out to be 100% true. I'm an idiot, and the nickname thing is true, but the move thing, no. Silk Road folks evolved something like 6,000 EVs to test it across all the different people that contributed. So the move thing, not a thing. Sorry. This is another thing that pops up because a lot of articles ran this as a big clickbait headline, but Vaporeon was nerfed. Vaporeon was not nerfed. A Caterpie. The quick moves, as in the tap, 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 tap moves from gym battles, they were all nerfed across the board. All quick moves were no longer capable of putting out the same DPS as a charge move. And so the mindset was like, oh, Vaporeon got nerfed, and Vaporeon is all bad, and now it's not as good as it used to be. Vaporeon was the king, and now it's the king with friends. Still puts out an immense amount of damage. It's just now you actually have to use the charge moves. So, and now I'm going to embarrass myself by failing to catch this Caterpie. The difficulty to catch a thing, not a rumor, not a myth, definitely increased around the time that they were going after the botters and whatnot. I believe, this is again, I have no math on this, but I believe that they made some changes specifically to try to catch botters. I have nothing to back that up, but I just feel like it was something they were worried about at the time, and then by making it harder to catch things, and it would make it harder for bots to catch things, and so then it would change their behavior in a way that they could track, and then that's one of the ways that they've been. So if all the band waves go out and all the bots are eliminated, and then all of a sudden it's easier to catch a Caterpie, you'll know I was right. Yeah, it took me that many balls to catch a 125 Caterpie. I think it was also an effort to like make it harder to catch while driving. So I used to be able to look down really quickly, up Pokemon, and I just flick. Now I could quick throw back then, and that was when before the Pokemon would really zoom out, you could just flick the ball, and it would kind of hit him right in the face right before he even had a chance to load out. That's gone. Now you have to wait until the animation completes before you can throw your first Pokeball. So it could be that that's part of the difficulty as well. I don't know. We'll see. Vaporeon was not nerfed. Vaporeon is still one of the best attackers, Water Gun and Hydro Pump being the best moveset for Vaporeon. My Vaporeon is a 100% IV. He is completely perfect. Water Gun, Hydro Pump. I use him all the time. I max him out. The second I level up, he's worth way more to me than both of my Dragonite. He's fantastic. He's worth more to me than even my Arcanine. Arcanine is another absolute amazing, but Vaporeon was not nerfed. Stop saying that he was. Weather affects spawns. So it's been raining a lot here, but no, alas, not yet. It would really be cool if certain things would come out only when it was raining or only when it was a sunny day or something like that. That would be really cool. But as of yet, and I will say, it's not outside the realm of possibility that that could change later. But as of now, one of the first YouTube videos that Silver Road put out was a review of the. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not, but our little rescue cat is just going to town on this little ball. So she's like, "Hey, I want to be on YouTube too." All right, so maybe if I grab her, then she'll be making less noise. I do not want to YouTube. Do not want to YouTube at all. We have finally given her a name, kind of in the theme of sun and moon. She has been named Luna, kind of a sun and moon Pokemon thing, kind of a Harry Potter thing. But yeah. So for those who don't know the story from an earlier episode, we were filming at a Abernest, and the cops had come up to kick me out of the park, and this cat just showed up and was circling our group. And when it was just me and I was packing up and I was walking back to the car, she came up and she was meowing, and I walked up and I just picked her up, and I haven't put her down since. But this is not a Pokemon Go myth. This is a Abyssinian cat. She's really big for being a kitten. Probably looks a lot bigger on the video than she actually is, but well, are you over it? Anyway, weather affects spawns. No, it doesn't. So stop believing that if people tell you that. Region-locked Pokemon can be hatched. Okay, so everybody has a friends, cousins, sisters, brothers, whatever, that said that they hatched a Mr. Mime. And two of the cats are trying to kill each other. But the Silver Road folks, again, generally when research is done there, it's done with a ton of sources. It's vetted. It's verified. It's the best research that can be done yet. 40,000 plus eggs were hatched through this group, and they were not able to get a single region Pokemon to spawn outside of where it was supposed to spawn. Again, everybody has a cousin, sister's brother that, oh my God, no, you're wrong. He caught a Mr. Mime behind a thing. But half the time when somebody claims that, it turns out that they saw a Jinx and they thought it was Mr. Mime, or if they think they saw a Kangaskhan, it was actually a Nidoqueen or something like that. So as far as I know, and I have hatched, let's see here, 554 eggs myself, and I have not gotten anything that should not have spawned here in North America. I'm currently one Pokemon away. I need one Grimer to complete the North American Pokédex, but I have not seen anything that would definitively tell me that stuff is spawning. Now, there are bugs and there are glitches, and there was a guy that said he saw Farfetch'd at a zoo and that the devs deleted it from his account afterwards. There was that couple that said that they got Articuno and it got deleted from their account. Niantic is going in, and if somebody gets something they're not supposed to have, they are deleting it. And there are people who spoof and who send their device, have a friend log in. There's tricks you can do. So if you see a Kangaskhan, it doesn't mean they caught it down the street. Take everything with a grain of salt. But hopefully they do make some sort of a rotation so that, hey, go to a zoo and you can catch a Kangaskhan this month only or something like that. Some sort of a rotation so that it's not impossible to get some of those region-exclusive Pokemon. Because, I've bought a couple of Poke coins, but at the end of the day, plane tickets are expensive. And so the idea of going to 3 different countries, not to mention continents, to get unlock in a game device, there's got to be another way. Yeah, so those are my top 5 pet peeve rumors. If you find the videos and the tips helpful, please subscribe. And if you have any questions, please post them in the comments. We'll get to them as soon as we can. Thanks. One last honorable mention in the pet peeve rumors myths department is the argument that Niantic said. Niantic doesn't talk. So they've talked like twice ever, and stuff that the CEO says is questionable even. Man, they're crazy. The announcements that we've got are trading is coming, it's a priority, breeding has been considered, but it's not currently in the works, and they didn't even mention one-on-one battling at Comic-Con. So when somebody's like, Niantic said, You probably read an article that was clickbait that had nothing to do with Niantic that they didn't have anything to do with. They haven't talked about mythical birds or legendary birds or Mew appearing. Like, hopefully we get a couple weeks notice, but it wouldn't surprise me if they don't just like, hey, here's the thing, and this is where you got to go, and here's no notice, so you can't prepare. Niantic doesn't talk. That's okay. We're spoiled with companies like Blizzard that talk a lot because we abuse them if they don't. But Niantic is not Blizzard, so don't expect when somebody says, but Niantic said, like, they've said 4 things ever. So they didn't say that thing, whatever it is that you're trying to say they said. No. Subscribe.